Very quickly, short revision clips, GCSE warfare through time. We're in the 20th century and we're going to look at one of the developments in warfare during the 20th century, which is a new tactic known as guerrilla warfare, which is used and developed during this century as a response to the development of numerically superior forces and a country perhaps attacking or fighting with a powerful modern arsenal of weapons. This is a method of warfare to try and cope with that, and it's proved to be a significant change in the way that modern wars have been fought. So, guerrilla forces or insurgents avoid fighting conventional, normal battles because they simply haven't got the high-tech weaponry, the numbers of troops, and the wealth of equipment of modern state armies. So they avoid open battles. They prefer to blend in with local populations. They use hit-and-run tactics with basic traditional weapons rather than high-tech arms. Tactics such as ambush, exploit their knowledge of the local terrain to their advantage. They might use traps, they might lay mines in the ground, they might use suicide bombers or improvised explosive devices, IEDs, left at the side of roads or in cars or under trucks. In fact, IEDs accounted for about 63% of the British and American deaths in the first 4 years of the Iraq War, which began in 2003. So, this new type of warfare has also affected the composition of modern armies. This is one of the reasons why there has been much higher demand for specialised soldiers in modern armies, which has led to bomb disposal units being formed and counterinsurgency elite forces such as the SAS, the Special Air Service. Two examples really of guerrilla warfare during this century is with the British Army in the Troubles in Northern Ireland in the 1960s and 70s, fighting a refined form of guerrilla warfare, terrorism really, practiced by the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, and a lot of the specialisation of the British Army has come through fighting in that conflict. The other big example is to do with the American Army and is from the war in Vietnam in the 1960s and 70s, where the Americans were fighting the Vietnamese communists, the Viet Cong. Very bitter conflict where you got the Viet Cong using guerrilla tactics to ambush the American forces, using their knowledge of the jungle and the local terrain, using traps and hit-and-run tactics. All of this led to the deaths of about 58,000 American soldiers during this long struggle, and eventually in the 1970s, America finally withdrawing from the conflict, having been beaten. And this is important. The ability of guerrilla fighters to endure and outlast their enemy is one of the key strategies. Guerrilla fighters are not expecting to win the conflict. They're aiming to endure and to prove that they cannot be defeated, and as a result of which, a superior enemy force will accept that victory cannot be achieved and will therefore move to seek a political solution rather than a military one.